So good morning, friends. Last class we discussed few of the applications of mechatronic systems in various fields. Today we'll continue with understanding of various applications. As I told you, in every walk of life, you'll find applications of mechatronics engineering. Today we'll see some of the flight control systems involved in aircrafts, wherein mechatronic systems are used. As I discussed last class also, these mechatronic systems are used for navigational purposes. Now, navigation, as I discussed in the last class, to understand the orientation of our aircraft with respect to base station. Try to visualize the thing. I am sitting in Sholapur airport and some aircraft is flying from, let us say, Mumbai to Chennai, and it wants to land up in Sholapur. Okay. Now, there will be always the station controller sitting in Sholapur airport as well, and the radar would be there, which would be tracking what are the objects or what are the aircraft those are flying over the air ranges of Sholapur. Now, sitting here remotely, how the location of the aircraft is tracked. So there also you'll find that remote sensing application of mechatronic systems, wherein either the light waves or magnetic waves are used for tracing the aircrafts. That is one thing. Secondly, there will be one gyroscope. Now, you have studied gyroscopes probably in third year theory of machines. Gyroscopes are used in aircrafts wherein the accelerations in X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z direction, those are recorded by or calculated by the gyroscope. And based on that, once I know the acceleration in X direction, Y direction, and Z direction, I can always find out velocities and positions with respect to X, Y, and Z direction. So when the aircraft is moving, the gyroscope provides the location details. So those can be called as the location transducers or location sensors. And through this remote facility, these coordinates are sent to the base aircraft, base air station, or whatever is the air station in the vicinity. And accordingly, at what altitude, let us call this as Y orientation. What is the altitude? What is the location altitude of the aircraft? What is the position in X direction of the aircraft? And if required, X and Y direction plus Z orientation. So X, Y, Z orientation of the aircraft can be found out. And if somehow, if it has lost the orientation, the pilot will come to know. He on his screen, he will have all the location details with respect to Sholapur aircraft. What are my coordinates, X, Y, Z coordinates in space of my aircraft, and what is the expected orientation and what is the actual orientation. So those accordingly the corrective action, whether I should turn right, whether I should turn left, what height I should maintain, and what should be the speed of the aircraft. So all these details are provided on the screen of the pilot. So these navigation systems guide the aircrafts in reaching the destination through the shortest path. Okay, depending on whatever through whatever route it is moving. So such navigational systems are also part of mechatronic application. Then you have very important landing gear systems which are involved in aircrafts. Now, landing gear, as the name indicates, you must have guessed what is it. If you've seen the aircraft while it is landing, after certain height, reduction in height, when it is landing on the aircraft airstrip, runway, slowly the flaps open up and the wheels with the landing gear, they come out of the aircraft. Okay, and then those are when these linkages are retracted totally, then those are locked, and thereafter, depending on my orientation and my aircraft orientation with respect to the runway, the touchdown takes place. Okay, so to have precise orientation, to have precise or good landing, there should be very good navigational system as well. Accordingly, the aircraft, the pilot will do the touchdown, and thereafter he'll put out or reduce the speed of the turbines so that it decelerates, and thereafter it can slow down later on. Now, these landing gears play very important role. Let it be an aircraft, let it be a helicopter system. Helicopter system, of course, you have two types of landing gears. Some helicopters have the retractable landing gears with wheels, or some aircrafts you must have seen a pipe like a structure. Those are called as the skid landing gear. They don't have any wheels as such, because the helicopters have this additional facility. They don't require the rundown time or deceleration time. The helicopter can straightway hover. Hover means सरळ वर जाऊन तो एका ठिकाणी थांबू शकतो. But aircrafts, it is not possible. It has to be in motion. So there is no necessity as such for, particularly for helicopters, to have wheel landing gears as such. Skid is sufficient because it can slowly come down and touch down on the airstrip, isn't it? So the landing gear systems or landing gear mechanisms, it's a wonderful case of mechatronic application, because all the controls related to the landing gears are electronic. The drive elements are either hydraulic or electrical, and then rest of the systems are mechanical systems. So it's a good application of so it's a good application of mechatronic systems in aircrafts. So these are very good applications from mechanical engineers point of view, because he should know the principles of design, as well as he should know the aspects of electrical and electronic control as well. And then we have a flight simulator, so to say. Now, as you know, the flight simulator, as you can see, this is a small miniaturized version of a flight simulator. Let me see what is the chat. Any question is there? Apache helicopter has wheels. Yes, some of the helicopters have wheels. It's not that always you have skid landing gear. Some helicopters also have wheels, right? It depends on type of application you want to have. Particularly in military applications, you have skid landing gears. That means helicopters with the hollow bars, isn't it? They don't necessarily have the wheels. This is particularly because they might have to land in any of the terrains, like sandy terrain, muddy terrain, or hilly areas, where particularly in military operations, you don't guarantee that I'll be having the runway all the way, isn't it? And these helicopters penetrate, as you must have seen in many of the movies. Uri was the latest one. So they have to move to unknown terrains as well, and uneven terrains. So their skid landing gear. Remember, for both the landing gears designs, mechanical engineering knowledge is very essential. So flight simulator, I don't know whether you have seen, many of the videos are available also on the YouTube. Flight simulator, there are vehicle simulators, or you have automobile driver simulators, you have naval ship simulators. Now, the purpose of this flight simulator or any of the simulators, as the word simulator or simulation means creating an environment which is similar to the real environment, right? So in the virtual world, you are creating the similar environment. This is particularly useful for training purposes of the pilots. Though we are discussing only about flight simulators today, but there are automobile simulators as well to train the driver. Or there are, as I said, ship simulators as well, where the ship driver, so to say, he is to be trained while uh, driving the ship or automobile or aircraft. So this is part of training. Now, what is this simulator? As you can see, similar chair as the pilot uses in aircraft is used. Well, you are doing this exercise on ground during the training. Before going in the training in flight mode, they are trained in the ground mode first of all. And as you can see, there are control sticks similar to the ones those are there on the aircrafts. So rest of the control environment is same. Only thing is that instead of sitting in the cabin of the aircraft, you're sitting in the laboratory. And on the screen, as you can see, it is similar to the windshield of your aircraft as well. And the pictures will be moving. So it is called as immersive simulation. Immersive. Your brain is trained. Once you are looking at the screen, and once you start the, so to say, turbines, engines, actually there will not be any engine as such, but you will be having all those control buttons as if you're starting the engines, as if you're starting the turbines, as if you're moving the aircraft. So all those controls are here, and all the sound and visual, all the similar environment is created inside this simulator. So you have that immersive feeling. As you must have seen in some of the games, you have the VR goggles; those are put in close to your eyes. And when you are playing the game, and if you are riding a motorcycle, you have a feel that you are almost riding the motorcycle, and as if you are driving the vehicle. So you have that feel. Similarly, in flight simulator also, the pilot will have a similar feel as if he is riding the aircraft. And all the pictures and all the videos those are taken are from the actual flight. So how to take off, how to land, how to increase the altitude, all those trainings are provided through this simulator. And remember, whatever you can see at the base, the seat, when you're preparing yourself for takeoff, you have to run on that runway first of all. So when the aircraft is moving in the runway, I don't know how many of you had the experience of traveling in air. So you have that frictional and that experience of aircraft being pulled to the window. You can just see the aircraft is moving, but at the seat base you feel those vibrations. So similar vibrations are created through your hydraulic systems at the base. So once you start accelerating, remember you are in the laboratory, you are not in the aircraft, but the similar feel is created. So all those vibrations, all those noise are also created as if you are in the aircraft. And while taking off, at what linear speed, if the appropriate lift is created by the wings, if that lift force is sufficient enough for aircraft to take a flight, once that lift force matches my requirement, so that lift force has to overcome the weight of the aircraft, isn't it? So when the lift force exceeds the weight of the aircraft, then only it will take flight, isn't it? Once that reaches, till that time, you have to run through your turbines and accelerate to such an extent that the lift force is increased slowly. Once the force crosses that threshold value, then you just put down the flaps and the aircraft slowly takes off. Thereafter, your aircraft has taken the flight. Remember, in the simulator, you'll have a similar feeling. You are not actually taking the flight, but you're having a similar feeling. On the screen, the picture will be projected in such a way that you have just left the runway and you're taken off, and then you are attaining the desired altitude at which my ground controller is asking me to maintain, isn't it? Because like we have a road traffic, you also have air traffic. Constantly at different altitudes, different aircrafts are moving. Those are not seen by us all the time. But these air traffic controllers, ATCs we call them, they have that data always with them. And accordingly, they give you the orientation, the navigational instructions, like you maintain your XYZ position in this direction and maintain your cruise speed at this much, because and maintain your altitude as these many meters, so that it should not disturb the other flights as well. Now all these things, this is at the time of takeoff. Similarly, at the time of landing, ATCs give you instructions to land. Okay, it is safe to land at Solapur airport or whatever, Chennai airport, wherever you are planning to land. The pilot gets the instructions, and accordingly he starts decelerating, he starts reducing the altitude, and he comes down, not necessarily linearly, maybe in the form of helical pathway. He reduces the altitude, and thereafter it will hover, it will just move around Solapur airport, and after appropriate instructions from ATCs, they start the landing procedure. Slowly the deceleration takes place, and then the touchdown will take place, and the total reduction in speed, and the aircraft will stop. Okay, so all these trainings, taking off, landing, changing altitudes, changing orientations, all those trainings are provided through this flight simulator. Similarly, for ship simulators also, when I was working with the Marine Engineering College, there also they had a room big, or the simulator, ship simulator of the size of the room. So all, it was covered with all the screens, computer screens, and all those similar chair used to be there, and similar feel that is created. And what they had done was, see, they trained for, particularly for continental ships, like which are moving from one continent to other continent, from Asia, maybe from Bombay to maybe Australia. That port it is going to enter, or it may be entering some port in Europe or America, wherever it wants to go. So what they have done, I have seen those are available. You can always have a visit and see how those simulators look, and you can sit in that, get inside the simulator room and have that feel. So different ports will have different entry points, different types of seas, different rough sea, smooth sea. You have Caspian Sea, you have Red Sea, you have Chinese Sea, you have Atlantic Ocean, different types of wave patterns, different types of sea water would be there of different densities, and rough sea, smooth sea I'm talking now, and the entry points of different ports would be different. And on the screen for that, those ship simulators, they train those ship drivers while you are entering the Sydney port, how it will be. And those are the actual pictures. So they train them while entering that Sydney port, how you should enter. So all those trainings are provided through these simulators. Similar is the exercise for automobiles as well. Though it is not used because you have good driving learning schools. So the similar environment is provided at ARAI, Automotive Research Association of India. They have good simulators available whenever opportunity. Forget about this pandemic. Whenever the opportunity is there, we can always go there and see those simulators wherever possible. So this is one of the applications, developing a simulator. Here also you require knowledge of mechanical engineering, vibration engineering, hydraulics, pneumatics, fluid power, electrical and electronic controls, and some aspects of software engineering as well. So this is also a wonderful application of flight simulator related to mechatronics. There are many manufacturing applications as well, friends. You have computer numerical control machine tools, which is a typical example of mechatronic systems. You have automatically guided vehicles. to feed various parts in the machinery line. You can see the vehicles, autonomous vehicles taking the jobs, finished parts from one machining center to the other machining center. So those are called as AGVs, or automated guided vehicles. Then robots, we all are knowing robots. We have welding robots. As you can see here, you have welding robots. There are painting robots. You have pick and place type. This is a pick and place type robo. You have the vacuum end effectors or grippers. Through vacuum, this box is lifted, picked up, and placed at some location. This is a pick and place type robo. This is the welding robo. This is the automobile fabrication assembly line. You can see the manufacturing line. This is a conveyor on which these the automobile chassis, automotive body chassis are moving, and the robots go to the various locations wherever the spot welding is to be done, maybe continuous welding is to be done. Those are actually appropriately programmed to carry out those welding operations. So these are the pictures of welding robots. Similarly, you have a paint shop. In painting, spray painting robots are available. You have robots carrying out assembly operations as well. There are inspection robots which are used, all these are in use applications in manufacturing engineering. So in manufacturing sector also, there are almost all the applications of machine tools have mechatronic devices in it. So the knowledge of mechatronics is always going to be useful, or rather essential, to every mechanical engineer. For that matter, any engineer. So even electronics engineering, they have subject called as mechatronics. They need to learn some aspects of mechanical engineering as well for developing some automation applications. So it has become a multidisciplinary field now. Everyone needs to learn the concepts of mechatronics engineering. So in manufacturing as well, you'll find applications of mechatronics in, as I said, CNC, AGVs, and various robots. Moving further, in medical and healthcare also, you'll find that there are many applications, mechatronic applications. As you can see, the first application, MRI. What is this MRI? Magnetic resonance imaging. Magnetic resonance imaging. And you have CT scan, that is computer tomographic scan. Now, what is the difference between magnetic resonance imaging and computer tomographic scan, right? तुम्ही बघितलं असेल तर you have, for both the cases, you have a tunnel like a thing. Then the patient is lying down and then he goes inside that tunnel. So there either you can have the computer CT scan. CT scan मध्ये कशाचा वापर होतो? They make use of X-rays. आणि मग the whole body scan, depending on your disease or doctor's advice, right from head to the toes, whatever sections. What it does is, if the body is lying like this inside the tunnel, you can have the sliced images across the cross section of your body, right? So the slides, multiple slides. कुठं ब्रेनचा जर सिटी काढायचा असेल तर मे बी ब्रेन रिजनचा क्रॉस सेक्शनल व्ह्यू तुम्हाला कळू शकेल. ॲब्डॉमिनल रिजन असेल, चेस्ट रिजन असेल, thoracic region असेल, body part region असेल, wherever you want to have the imaging, the CT scans accordingly. And then in CT scan, as I said, there is usage of X-ray, but MRIs are more popular. Those are a bit advanced than the CT scans. So MRI gives me very high resolution images. To more details they give me. What is the difference? In CT scan, they make use of X-rays, and in MRI, magnetic field and radio fields for scanning the entire body. मग त्याच्यासाठी they make use of some fluid, gadolinium contrast medium. Gadolinium contrast medium. ते आपल्याला प्यावं लागतं आधी, so that you get better images for MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. तिथं पण you get high resolution images. During the pandemic, you must have seen तुमच्या लंग्स मध्ये किती इन्फेक्शन झालंय हे फाइंड आउट करण्यासाठी सीटी स्कोर बघायचे, isn't it? किती म्हणजे ओपेक रिजन किती आहे लंग्स मध्ये तुमचे, इट ऑल तुमच्या कोरोना व्हायरसच्या इन्फेक्शन मुळे तुमच्या लंग्स मध्ये किती, हाऊ what extent your lungs are infected. To find out that, they made use of CT scan and in some cases MRI scans also. So these are the healthcare applications of mechatronic systems. Then this particular picture is related to robotic surgery. रोबोटिक सर्जरी, ॲब्डॉमिनल सर्जरी असेल किंवा रेटिनल सर्जरी असेल, आय सर्जरी असेल, इयर सर्जरी असेल, मायक्रो सर्जरीज असतील, हार्ट सर्जरीज असतील, देअर द रोबोटिक सर्जरीज आर टेकिंग प्लेस. याचा अर्थ असा नाही की फक्त रोबोट्स डायरेक्टली तुम्हाला ऑपरेट करतो. द एक्सपर्टीज फ्रॉम द सर्जन्स इज ऑलवेज रिक्वायर्ड. सो दीज रोबोटिक मॅनिप्युलेटर्स हेल्प the doctors and surgeons in carrying out complicated surgeries. मग त्यात एक लीड थ्रू टाइप ऑफ रोबोट जो असतो, ऍक्च्युली स्क्रीनवर डॉक्टरला पूर्ण त्याचे इमेजेस मिळत असतात आणि मग तुम्ही जर कॉपिंग मशीन बघितलं असेल मशीन टूल मध्ये, तसा हा तुमचा वॉक थ्रू रोबो असतो. म्हणजे त्या डॉक्टरच्या हातात पण सिमिलर टूल्स आहेत, बट दोज आर नॉट ऍक्च्युअली ऑपरेटिंग द पेशंट. पण इथं ते एका मिनिएचराइज मॉडेलवर ते दे आर कॅरिंग आउट द सर्जरी आणि मग ती मोशन इज एम्प्लिफाईड अँड गिवन टू द रोबोटिक आर्म्स, राईट. द रोबोटिक आर्म्स असे दिले, मग दॅट मोशन इज रिप्लिकेटेड बाय दोज रोबोटिक आर्म्स आणि मग द सेम ऑपरेशन इज carried out by the robotic surgeons, so to say, under the supervision of course, the trained medical doctors and medical surgeons. आणि as I said, retinal surgery, आपला डोळाच आधी एवढा लहान आणि त्यात मग रेटिनाचं ऑपरेशन करायचं. सी at what micro level you can carry out. So all these micro electromechanical devices, एक वेगळं फील्डच आहे. MEMS you must have heard, micro electromechanical systems. तिथं पण how to design those micro electromechanical systems. आजकाल तरी त्याला MEMS म्हणतात आणि आजकाल NEMS पण सध्या हॉट फील्ड आहे, नॅनो इलेक्ट्रोमेकॅनिकल सिस्टम्स. सो NEMS ह्याची पण डेव्हलपमेंट, दिस कम्स अंडर प्रिसिजन इंजिनिअरिंग. आता अर्लियर IIT Chennai had precision engineering department. Now every IIT has got precision engineering department. So whenever you're going for GATE crack Karun, when you're going for MTech higher studies, do visit these laboratories of precision engineering. Well, you will see you have micro electromechanical system design and nano electromechanical system design. All these are mechatronic applications. Now the extension of these nano engineering applications in mechatronic systems, you have the drug delivery system. म्हणजे काय, आतापर्यंत औषध आपण घ्यायचो, मग ते पोटाचा विकार असला तरी इथूनच औषध घेतलं, मग ते पोटात ते रक्तामध्ये ऍब्सॉर्ब झालं आणि देन द इन्फेक्टेड रिजन मधले जे काय बॅक्टेरियाज असतील, व्हायरसेस असतील, तिथं त्यांना तो किल करणार. अशी दिस इज द कन्व्हेन्शनल सिस्टम. नाव विथ द ऍडव्हेंट ऑफ नॅनो इंजिनिअरिंग, नाव यू हॅव नॅनो रोबोज. नॅनो रोबोज म्हणजे नॅनो स्केल रोबोज. आता आपण बघितले मागचे ऍप्लिकेशन सगळे मॅक्रो मोठे असे दिसणारे, हात एंड इफेक्टेड दिसणारे रोबोज, बट नेकेड आईजला न दिसणारे रोबोज आर ऑल्सो डेव्हलप. आणि मग ते काय करतात, इन्फेक्टेड रिजन मध्ये दे टेक दीज ड्रग्स टू द इन्फेक्टेड रिजन अलोन. मग त्या ठिकाणीच ते जाऊन ड्रॉप करतात. आजकाल तुम्ही बघितलं असेल, यू मस्ट हॅव हर्ड ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. आता स्टेंट डिलिव्हरी सिस्टीम पण आहेत. ब्लॉकेजेस जे हार्ट मध्ये असतात, ते स्टेंट्स जे असतात, मग कुठेतरी मांडीच्या इथून ते इंजेक्ट करतात आणि ते रीच आउट टू द हार्ट वॉल रिजन आणि त्या रक्तातनं फ्लो होऊन ते हार्ट वॉल रिजन मध्ये जातात आणि तिथं मग ते दोज वेन्स अँड आर्टरीज, मग त्यांना ब्लॉकेजेस असलेल्या ठिकाणी थोडं एक्सपांड करतात आणि ते ब्लॉकेजेस काढून टाकतात. So similarly, drug delivery robots are also developed. The required region मध्ये medicines पोहोचवतील. Even the microsurgeries are also carried out by these robots. Of course, त्याच्याबरोबर त्याचा फीडबॅकसाठी तो कॅमेरा पण आत जातो आणि मग ते एक्झॅक्ट रिजन मध्ये ते ऑपरेशन होते की नाही. नो दीज आर ऑलरेडी इन प्रॅक्टिस. पर्टिक्युलरली पोटातले जे काही ऑपरेशन्स आहेत, तर दोज आर डन अंडर द लेन्स मायक्रोस्कोप. मग तो प्रोब जो असतो, तो प्रोब विथ दॅट ट्यूब, ती असे तुम्हाला पोटातनं तोंडातनं आत गिळायला सांगतात. मग ते रिचेस आउट युअर ॲब्डॉमिनल रिजन किंवा तुमचे लहान आतडे मोठे आतडे, मग तिथलं ऑपरेशन, तिथून मग ते इमेजेस पाठवतं डॉक्टर्सना. डॉक्टर्स आर कॉन्स्टंटली मॉनिटरिंग इट आणि मग इथून ते तिथले प्रोब्स ऑपरेट करतात आणि मग तिथलं ऑपरेशन, त्याला म्हणायचं नॉन इन्व्हेसिव्ह सर्जरी. म्हणजे ऍक्च्युली पोट फाडून कट करून वगैरे नाही, पण आतून ती सर्जरी करायची, ती म्हणजे अंडर मायक्रोस्कोप. त्याला काय म्हणतात बरोबर बाबा, एंडोमेट्रिक काहीतरी सर्जरी असं नाव आहे. तर असे इन सोलापूर ऑल्सो यू हॅव दोज सर्जरीज being carried out. Solapur, as you know, it is now medical hub, particularly for these South Indian cities like Gulbarga, Bijapur, up to Hubli. Patients come to Solapur, right? Even from Marathwada region. So we have all those facilities available. The point is, mechatronic has got wide-ranging applications in medical healthcare systems as well. Then we have next application, space application. NASA Mars rover बद्दल आपण बघितलं, न्यूज मध्ये बघितलं. हे व्हेकल्स इथून पाठवले गेले स्पेस मध्ये. इंडिया वॉज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ मार्स मिशन. मंगलयान आपण पण पाठवलं होतं. सो ऑल दीज आर ऑल्सो एक्झाम्पल्स ऑफ युअर mechatronic systems. Mobile robots, space station robots, all these are space applications are related to mechatronic developments. Similarly, as earlier classes I told you about bomb detecting system. This is a bomb detecting system. You have a camera which provides the details, high resolution cameras. Then you have the robotic arms. So unmanned म्हणजे ते जे काही जमिनीखाली पेरलेले असतात नक्षलाइट्सचं उदाहरण तुम्हाला सांगितलं मी. सो दीज डिटेक्टर्स डिटेक्ट लँड माइन्स, त्याला म्हणतात, जमिनीखाली पेरलेले लँड माइन्स. ऍज द व्हेकल पासेस ओव्हर दॅट, इट ट्रिगर्स अँड इट ब्लास्ट, एक्सप्लोजन होतो अँड दॅट इज डॅमेज टू द लाईफ. नाउ दीज बॉम्ब डिटेक्शन सिस्टम्स, आणि मग ते डिफ्यूज करायचं पण मेकॅनिझम यावरच प्रोव्हाइड केलं आहे. वंडरफुल प्रोजेक्ट स्टुडंट्स कॅन टेक अप. थोडासा अगदी हा प्रिसिजनचा नाही होणार, पण कन्सेप्च्युअली यू कॅन हॅव such a project being made. Okay, so you have bomb detection systems, you have unmanned air vehicles used for surveillance purposes. Drones also find military applications. आपण बघितलं उरी पिक्चर मध्ये ड्रोनचा वापर करून इंजिनियर, इस्रोचा इंजिनियर, how he provides the input, उडणारा पक्षी in the drone in the form of that flying bird. मग तो त्या एनिमीच्या एरियामध्ये जाऊन, which was controlled from our region, and it gets the details and that data is fed back. So military drones are very much in use. So these mechatronic devices find applications in unmanned air vehicles, UAV ज्याला म्हणतो, they're used for surveillance purposes. Surveillance म्हणजे काय, देखरेख, नजर ठेवणे, राईट. मग इथून एनिमी रिजन मध्ये पण तिथले सगळे हाय रेझोल्युशन फोटोग्राफ्स, व्हिडिओज आपला मिलिटरी इंटेलिजन्सला मिळत राहतात. इव्हन ड्रोन्स प्रोव्हाइड यू दॅट इन्फॉर्मेशन. सो सिमिलरली UAVs, unmanned air vehicles, all those radars will be there and drones will be there. Then from our region we can always maneuver and control all these devices. So like as I said earlier, you have some common applications also. Quickly we'll see. You have these are the applications which are seen: print, scan, xeroxing machines. That is also a typical application of mechatronic system. Your digital printing machines, that is also a mechatronic device. All ATMs, automatic teller machine, is also example of mechatronic system. Your kitchen microwave oven is also example of mechatronic system. You have food dispensing and vending machines as mechatronic application. All household appliances like washing machines, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, etc. are the examples of mechatronic systems. A computer, hard disk drive, disk ejection mechanism. This is also example of mechatronic system. And then many of the construction equipments like cranes, excavators, mixers, etc., are some of the examples of mechatronic systems. So we had a quick review of what are the application areas of mechatronics engineering. I think, friends, we'll stop for today.